Good morning, dear student. Today we start in computer chapter 2 database concept. In this chapter we start to about knowing the database and DBMS. Actually, what is database? Actually, database is a collection of information that is reduced related to a particular subject, such as tracking customers orders or maintaining a music collection. In that way, that we can say that the database is a collection of all kind of information that we can store in a particular database. A database is integrated collection of data. That means is a collection of integrated data. That means every kind of data we can collect in the database. Database management system, that is called DBMS, involves the data and the software that control the storage and retrieval of the data. In that, we can always use a particular software to control the database and storage of the database that we can retrieve when we get some kind of a information. Then DBMS provides mechanism for storing and organizing data in a manner that is facilitate execute queries and manipulating of data. In DBMS, we have also kind of a facilities that we can executing queries that means we can ask if we have some kind of a get information about the particular data, we call the queries. And manipulation of data, if you want to manipulate the data in a different manner, you can also manipulate in database. So we can say that database is a collection of information that we can store in our system. Some popular DBMS software are MS Access, Microsoft Access, Microsoft Visual, Fox Pro, Sybase and Oracle. These are the some database software. While we using MS Access in this case. Now move on the advantage of the electronic database. There are too many advantages. First of all, we have to move on. The database allow you to store data. It is useful to store data. Any kind of a data we can store in DBMS. Retrieve and process the collection of data in a central database file. Also, the database we can use for the main file also. It can be connected with each other files. There is no need to using different file for the storage of data. You can use only a single file where you can store all kind of a data. Then second point, the DBMS allow to retrieve information from the database quickly. You can quickly execute the information. User had to set the query to exact. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to get information of anything, you can use query to exact them. The required data will from the database. Then point third, in conventional data storage method, some information is stored in a different file. There are too many files also be there where you can store the different files. It result into the duplicate data also. It is called data redundancy. When we use an electronic database, all the data is stored in the central location. Hence, it is reduce the data redundancy and provide better and efficient use of the memory space also. Point 4. It improves the consistency of data, means when same data is different location, while changing the data is maybe happen, that is the data is not changed at all the location. If you want to manipulate the data and you want to change its original data file, it can't be changed. Your original data files is going to be stored, which is also into the inconsistency of data in electronic database because of all the data is present in the central location. Then move on. Point 5. DBMS allow only authorized access to data. You can also secure within unauthorized access. Hence, unauthorized users cannot be access the data. It is also a helpful feature for the DBMS. Point 6. Data is present in the centralized database. Hence, it may use the many users also. Since the same database is shared with many users, DBMS makes sure that the data being transmitted does not get corrupted. Hence, it maintains integrity of the data. Point 8. It allows entry of the data in the fixed format with only valid values are specified. Most of the important thing that we have in this DBMS is allow the only fixed format that we have to use view valid values with that. Then RDBMS. RDBMS is short form of the Relational Database Management System. It is a database management system DBMS in which data is stored in a table. Table is the place where we can store all the information. We can say that the table is the building block of the database, and its relationships among the data is also stored in the table. We can create multiple of tables, and we can also relation between all the tables. The data can be accessed in the resemble in many different way without having the change in the table forms. In RDBMS, two or more tables are linked to each other using the common field or a column. We can make the common field also in the different two kind of a table. While asking for the data, the information from both the tables will be presented in the user in the form of query. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to get information about the two different kind of a table, we can create queries instead of any kind of a information. So that is for the, we can say that we have to create tables, many tables, and we get information about the queries. Now we have to move on the some basic terminology. There are some basic terminology in the MS Access. First we have to move on tables. A table is a collection of data. Any kind of a data we can collect and store in a table. Every kind of a data you can also collect in a form of table. It organized in the row and column. A table is also known as the relation. Then second point is record. A record is a collection of related fields from a record. If you want a different kind of fields, actually we have to create different kind of a table with a different related fields in a different tables. A record is a comprised of one or more fields depending on the number of fields defined to a tables. So record is related to the tables. Then move on field. A field is a column that contain category of information. What kind of a category of information that you have to mention in the field option. A field has a unique name. It also known as the data item. This is the smallest unit of the database. Then move on tuple. In a row of a table is called tuple. Attributes. The column of the table are called attributes. So instead of the column and row in MS Excel going to be in a tuple and attributes. Then move on data types. We have a different kind of a data types in RDBMS. Data types are the properties of the each field. We have a different kind of fields in database. A field has only one data type such as character, number or date. How many characters do you have in your database? How many numbers fields that you have? What kind of a format have you date in your database? So you have to mention what kind of a data type in your MS Excel field. Then we have to move on primary key. A primary key. A column in a table which uniquely identifier is a record. Like example admin number in a student table, because admin number of the two students cannot be same. Unique identifier. It must be like that. There is a unique identifier of a particular table, like your roll number. If in table your roll number is going to be given, it can't be given by the another student. Like that in admin number there is a number 1234 for the Anuj for the class 8C. Then move on roll number, move on the 1576 name of student Spire and it belongs to 8B. So you can see that there is a admin number. These numbers are not same. We have to mention admin number is going to be primary key. This is the unique identifier record for the primary key. Then degree. The number of attributes in a table is called a degree of the relations. What kind of attributes do you have in tables is going to be degree. Now cardinality. The number of tuples row is relation is called a cardinality. Design view. to provide two tools creating a fields in a table. We have to design table in a design view. What kind of a field we want to create for a table is also mentioned in the design view. Then we have to put datasheet view. It allow you to update, edit or delete information in a table. What kind of a data do you have? You can also view in a datasheet view. So these are the some object or the, we can say that the database format while we using the database. So this is the just an introduction of your database. For the upcoming chapter, in the chapter 3rd, we have to overcome this MS Access DBMS program. Okay, thank you for the chapter